Hello, this reading is for Leo. So I wanted to do like a light and dark reading, like the shadow energy and like ascension energy. So I got Abraham, Justice of Pandemonium, Justice, Truth, and Duty for the shadow energy here. And then for the ascension, higher, lighter energy, we have the Six of Air from my Angel Tarot deck. It says, things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So just with these two cards here coming out, I feel like you're really on this uplifting, upbeat path. Like even the shadow energy is reflecting, it's not like an opposition. It's not something that you have to necessarily work through. It's serving you. So I'm getting that maybe you've recently done some shadow work and now it's time to move on to lighter energies. So with the Six of Air, which is in other decks, the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is all about going on a journey and not necessarily knowing how you're going to get there. Like, not really knowing what direction to go into, not knowing what type of terrain, or it's going over in a boat. So, you don't know what the weather is going to be. There's no way to know. There's no way to prepare. But you're still going to take the trip. And you're going to throw caution to the wind, and the important part of it isn't how you get there. It's that you go. It's that you do it. And it says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So with the Justice, Truth, and Duty, though, I feel like, do you work in law or something? Or like, are you in a position that, you have other people relying on you to be the arbiter of justice, truth, and duty? Like, you have that role, you have that power. I feel like it's almost like you need to take a break from that weight, because that is a weight. I mean, he's literally got the scales here. This is almost like, like a justice card energy. So let's focus on Abraham here with the darker energy and see. I'm using the Vice Versa Tarot. So far so good. Doesn't look like my recording's freaking out. Hopefully it stays that way. We got the Four Cups that came out here. And we got the Nine of Wands, but this came out in the reverse. So I'm like, again, we have a boat on the water taking a trip. I mean, that's not what the Four of Cups is normally talking about. Okay. So what I'm getting is don't let your responsibilities and the arbiter role that you play interfere with your growth and moving forward. Because this almost looks like this is somebody sitting on the beach watching this ship go by and they're not on the ship. And it's a very like sad, longing feeling. And then with the Nine of Wands, I mean, it shows like a woman inviting a wounded soldier into the solace of her cave. It's indicative of some things. But this came out in the reverse. So I'm getting like this sense of, again, feeling like abandoned, stranded, feeling vulnerable, feeling vulnerable because you didn't allow yourself to take that risk. So now it's like not feeling vulnerable, but feeling regret. Feeling regret because you didn't take a chance on yourself. Too busy weighing out the pros and the cons, and you missed your trip. And then the next cards here we have are the Five of Wands. And then to further explain that is this the Wheel of Fortune, I believe, but it is in, this card came out in the reverse. Yeah, I'm hearing like, you know, like you're not used to good things happening for you. Like you're used to putting in the work and fighting, despite how explosive the situation even might be around you. And what you should do is, you know, run for the hills. But the role that you've taken, or that you've needed to take to be successful and to be the type of person that you strive to be, like you're always up for a good fight. You know, especially Leos. Leos are very passionate. They definitely do like to be the center of attention. So it makes sense why they wouldn't get up and run for the hills, because this is the money shot. This is where it's all going down. That's where Leo's, it wants to be naturally. But that's not always going to work out to your favor. With that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse there. I'm hearing choose your battles. And this is almost like a fight with yourself. It's not like a fight to the death, because they're using like, you know, wands, but it's not like a sharp end or anything at the end. It's just like a blunt object. The danger is what's going on in the background, and that you're just like completely oblivious to it because you're so wrapped up in your head. I think it's definitely saying pay attention to your surroundings and don't miss out on an opportunity because you're too worried about doing the right thing, the thing that you're supposed to do, upholding the duty. The last reading I did was talking about self-preservation, and it's okay. This is for Cancer. It's okay to be selfish sometimes, because you do need to take care of yourself before you can offer someone to drink from your cup if your cup is empty. So to focus on this Six of Air energy, things looking up, the end of a difficult situation and taking a trip. Let's see, we have the King of Swords coming out. And to further explain that was the Six of Cups, but that was in the reverse, came out in the reverse. So these two cards, so there is a storm coming. Again, that came up in the other reading as well. And also came up in the other reading, but it's something that you're almost like excited to face, ecstatic to face. So I'm hearing like, don't you worry. If you think that you're stepping away from this role and going on a trip, or you know, just uprooting yourself and just going somewhere that you've never been, and you have no idea what to expect, and there's no way for you to have an idea of what to expect. Like that's you know, very uncertain energy. Don't worry, there will be plenty of things there for you waiting, for you to uphold that energy of doing your duty, doing your part, and showing how capable you are. Now with the Six of Cups in the reverse, okay, so I feel like wherever it is that you're taking a trip to, I think it might be like a new home. It could be a new job. That could be a type of a new home. A new, like a, well, obviously it's a new location, but like this is over the water too, is it not? Yeah, there's a bridge here. It's kind of hard to see. It's in the dark, but there's like a bridge here. Leo, I'm getting a lot of water energy, so I think it's really important to pay attention to your emotions. If you try to try to hold back and be disingenuous, your emotions are going to come through like a storm. The storm that's coming is you. If you don't allow, if you try to be in the controlling role, because you don't like the way something turned out, or you don't like the way you think it's going to turn out, you really just have to let things be and go with the flow. Like the energy of air, like the energy of water, which is hard, I think, for a fire sign, because their natural state is, especially for a Leo, is to shine and to be bright and to not really have to do too much to be noticed, because that's just their energy and they're noticed. I think you're kind of getting pushed into a role where what you're being recognized for is not like your natural charm and like your God-given abilities that you were born with, and that's part of what makes it, this journey that you're going on, unknowable and uneasy, and a little bit scary. But it's definitely something that always take an opportunity to grow and to learn and to be more. Because if you ever wanted a reason for life, I mean, I don't know a better one. And the last cards here, we have the Two of Swords. This came out in the reverse. Again, look at that choppy water. Even though this is a air energy, like surrounded by water, and there's a serious storm, but it's in the reverse. And then we have the Seven of Wands that came out here with it. So, well, first off, I think that I think that you're probably gonna hold in your emotions. That's what I'm hearing. You're holding back your emotions. It's not a choice that needs to be made. You've already made a choice, and you're keeping it to yourself, and you're protecting it here. And I feel like it's something that's very emotional to you. So maybe you're emotional because of what you're leaving behind. But I feel like you're keeping your emotions to yourself because you're trying to protect other people about the situation. Because they're already feeling some kind of way, so you feel like you have to be the strong one to hold it down, and you're not budging on that. So let me see what we can get for final messages and advice. Okay, first card out is Temperance. This did come out in the upright here. Let's see what else we got. That's crazy. The last video I did, the recording was so jacked. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. We got the Ace of Wands that came out in the reverse, and then we have the Eight of Swords, which also came out in the reverse. So these three cards here, you see. So there's definitely, even though I think with what's going on, this is like an emotional thing that you're really just trying to keep to yourself. You're trying to make it like this journey that you're taking really isn't that big of an undertaking. You know, it's just another thing under your belt that you're going to accomplish because you're a superstar. And that's what superstars do. No sweat, right? You don't want anyone to see you sweating. I feel like that you will find a balance in that. It's just you're not going to find balance in that until you get your footing about you. So I feel like once you've made it to where you're transitioning to, and I really do feel like this is like an actual physical trip because there's mentioning of traveling multiple times in taking a trip. And then this, you know, this card here, I feel like once you get settled in into the new digs, shall we say, you'll find your feng shui and the flow, and it'll be a little bit easier for you to find your center. But you're still kind of like finding yourself in like it's something new that you're not used to. So you're cautious in like putting your creative energy into something, into this new thing that's happening. You're really just trying to test the waters to see how it feels to you before you make any final decisions about it. And this isn't like a yes or no decision. It's like a decision about how you really feel about it. And with the Eight of Swords coming out in the reverse, I feel like it's talking about you just being really realistic about what's going on, knowing full well what the situation is and the circumstances in which you find yourself in and how you got there, and you're not making any excuses for yourself or anyone else, which is, again, like, that's good, because I feel like you went from that, you're coming from an energy of really holding in your emotions because you know they're all over the place, but when you finally do kind of let it out, you know, you just kind of like let it out a little bit at a time, so it's not like a huge floodgate, which takes a lot of strength, of will, a lot of strength of character, which again makes sense here because even though this is the shadow energy coming up, it's energy that is not really shadow energy. It's just like energy that you don't really like other people. Only people that really know you know that about you. Most people that know you like on a surface level, you know, just see you as this go-getter that's always down to put in the work, put on a show, even to the detriment of yourself. They don't know how deep you really are. Yeah, you tell them, Anubis. But I think it's gonna be really good because you're gonna find yourself in a place. Well, it's always really good when your emotions aren't all over the place. It's a lot easier to think. It's a lot easier to process. It's a lot easier to really get a full scope of what's really going on, and seeing the full picture, and then also understanding what you're willing to give in a situation, what efforts you're willing to put forward, because this is something that's coming for you. So that is my reading for you, Leo, and I hope you enjoyed that. I truly hope you got something out of that, and if you liked it, please like the video, and if you want to see more of the stuff I put out, hit that subscribe button. All right, have a great, wonderful evening, day, whatever time it is when you view this. All right, bye.